Welcome to Morganable, where we serve you with authentic news, stories, documentaries, updates, and Martin-style insights on our society and the larger world. And more importantly, about places that fall under the radar of the mainstream media machinery. We invite you to embark on this exciting journey of enlightenment with us. Morganable, your vehicle of enlightenment.
Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has assured Nigerians that the military and other security agencies are in control of the country's security, despite increasing pressure from terrorists and jihadist groups operating across the Sahel. Speaking at a closed-door meeting with President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa, he said that the president has issued fresh directives to intensify military operations, approved the acquisitions of new air assets, and is collaborating with neighboring countries. Mr. added that the government is not relying solely on force, but implementing non-kinetic strategies in partnership with state governors to ensure lasting peace in affected communities. The main meeting held ahead of Tinubu's trip to Rome for the inauguration of Pope Leo XVI was attended by Chief of Army Staff Olufemi Oloyede, Chief of Air Staff Hassan Abubakar, Chief of Naval Staff Emmanuel Ogala, Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun, and others. Meanwhile, Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris has dismissed reports claiming the ministerial press briefing season was relocated from Abuja to London. He made the clarification during his opening remarks at the 8th edition of the briefing held at the National Press Center in Abuja. Idris emphasized the government's commitment to accountability as Nigeria is turning a corner and urged the media to report these positive developments responsibly and constructively. The season session was attended by the Minister of Arts, Culture and the Creative Economy, Hanauti Musawa, Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph Utsev, the Minister of Works, David Umahi. In a separate development, Minister of Youth Development has reaffirmed its commitment to promoting mentorship and leadership opportunities for the boy child. Speaking at a news conference in Abuja to mark the International Day of the Boy Child, Minister of Youth Development Ayodele Olawande emphasized the importance of equipping boys with skills and support for success. Olawande stressed that every boy deserves quality mentorship regardless of background, as it helps build confidence and potential. He also praised the United Nations for highlighting the global importance of supporting boys' development. On education affairs, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund has announced the expansion of its loan program to some vocational skills centers across the country. Executive Director of Operations at NEL Fund, Iyal Mustafa, stated this during a sanitization campaign in Enugu State. Mustafa said NEL aims to support vocational training through loans, helping individuals access technological education and technical education at various skill centers, including fashion design and other trades. Stating that Enugu is one of the first states where this initiative will begin, he said the plan includes covering training costs, providing upkeep support, and supplying tools after training as NEL Fund expands to over 10 states. In Ekiti State, the state governor Biodoye Banji has reaffirmed that the Ekiti Knowledge Zone (EKZ) has a project that will reshape the state's economy, drive industrial growth, and foster sustainable development. Oyebanji stated this during a meeting with officials from the African Development Bank and also the Federal Ministry of Finance team who were in the States on a supervisory mission. Oyebanji said the EKZ is designed to attract investment and serve as a hub for knowledge-based enterprises, leveraging Ekiti's strong intellectual and educational foundation. Noting that the project aims to create jobs, promote industrial growth, and economically empower citizens. He assured them of his administration's cooperation. Still in Ekiti State, the state government has received 110 solar-powered pumps and accessories for the construction of 110 new water, sanitation, and hygiene wash facilities across its 16 local government areas and 22 local council development areas. Commissioner for Infrastructure and Public Utilities, Mobolaji Aluko, said the project is part of the World Bank-backed Sustainable Urban and Rural Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene Program. Aluko noted that the initiative aims to improve access to essential services in underserved communities, explained that purchasing the pump in bulk helps cut costs and ensures quality and effective post-installation servicing. The commissioner urged residents to take responsibility for public facilities to ensure better service delivery and long-term sustainability. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has announced plans for a major political coalition involving the All Progressive Congress, the People's Democratic Party, and the Labour Party to confront President Bola Tinubu's administration. Atiku made the disclosure in Abuja while addressing a delegation from Kogi East Senatorial Zone, led by former Kogi State Deputy Governor Simon Achuba. The meeting, which focused on regional insecurity and unity in the north, saw Atiku express concern over Nigeria's deteriorating security and blaming the government for lacking the political will to resolve the crisis. Recalling his tenure as a vice president under Olusegun Obasanjo's administration, which was the early days of Boko Haram insurgency, Atiku highlighted how decisive leadership at the time helped temporarily contain the threats. Economist and political activists Pat Utomi has responded to legal action initiated against him by the Department of State Services (DSS), who accused the 2007 African Democratic Congress presidential candidate of attempting to illegally usurp President Bola Tinubu's executive powers by forming a shadow government. In a post on his official X, Utomi dismissed the allegations and reaffirmed his commitment to democratic ideals and announced plans to assemble 500 lawyers to defend him against the DSS. Utomi linked his stance to that of global freedom icons such as Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and Martin Luther King Jr., vowing to continue his fight for democratic accountability. Finnish prosecutors have confirmed that Nigerian separatist leader and pro-Biafran agitator Simon Ekpa has been charged with inciting terrorism online. In a statement, Finland's National Prosecution Authority said Ekpa is involved in a case concerning suspected public incitement to commit crimes with terrorist intent and participation in the activities of a terrorist group. The alleged offenses occurred in Lati between 2021 and 2024 and are linked to Ekpa's efforts to establish Nigeria's Biafra region as an independent state. Ekpa has, however, denied the charges. Back to politics. Chairperson of the Labour Party Caretaker Committee, Nenadi Usman, has challenged factional national chairman Julius Abure to act on his threats to expose 2023 party candidates Peter Obi and Abia State Governor Alex Oti and other key figures aligned with her faction. Usman said the party has documented evidence of Abure's misconduct some of which is under police investigation, while she described crisis within the party as an assault on internal democracy. Again, that Abure's tenure as national chairman has ended. Usman said the party is simply complying with the Independent National Electoral Commission's directive to fill the leadership vacuum. Recall that Abure had accused Obi Uti and others of hypocrisy regarding 2023 election funding and threatened to reveal damaging information. Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Karim Khan, has temporarily stepped down as the investigation by the United Nations into alleged sexual misconduct brought against him nears completion. Khan's office confirmed that he is on leave pending the conclusion of the probe by the UN Office of Internal Oversight Services. In a letter, Khan said he had been assessing his position, citing his commitment to the credibility of the office and the courts, and to ensure the integrity of the process and fairness to all involved. He further denied the allegations which were reported to the court's governing body in October 2024. Minister of Labour and Employment, Muhammadu Dingyadi, has called on the House of Representatives to expedite action on the passage of key national labour bills. Speaking at the inaugural National Policy Dialogue on the legislative agenda of the House in Abuja, Dingyadi emphasized that the bill would transform Nigeria's labour administration system and foster an environment conducive to investment, increased productivity, and social justice. The bills include the Labour Standards Bill, Collective Labour Relations Bill, Occupational Safety and Health Bill, Labour Institutions Bill, and the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund Act 2010, which aligns with the Employees Compensation Act. Other bills include the National Directorate of Employment Act 2004, the National Productivity Act 2004, and the Michael Immobile National Institute for Labour Studies Act. In the meantime, Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy has announced plans to establish the Creative and Tourism Infrastructure Corporation, with a projected investment of $100 billion and the targets to create 2.5 million jobs by 2030. Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy, Hannatu Sawa, disclosed this during the 8th edition of the Ministerial Press Briefing session at the National Press Center in Abuja. To actualize the vision, she revealed that the ministry is partnering Creative Park Limited to help the Abuja Creative City, which she said is Africa's first of its kind creative hub on 26 acres of land. Among others, the minister said the National Institute for Cultural Orientation will establish the Nigerian Academy of Cultural Studies with 4 strategic campuses in Ogbomoso, Calabar, Lagos, and Abuja. In a separate bid, former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has raised alarm over the declining state of Nigeria's legal profession, warning that it is on the brink of collapse due to entrenched corruption, ethical violations, and resistance to reform. Speaking at the 2025 Law Week plenary session of the Nigerian Bar Association, Enugu branch in Bayelsa State, Osinbajo decried the growing public perception that both the bar and bench are deeply compromised. He argued that the legal profession is no longer the gatekeeper of legal reasoning or knowledge, just as traditional legal tasks such as research, analysis, and opinion writing are increasingly being automated by AI. Osinbajo called for an urgent overhaul of legal education in Nigeria and called for cross-disciplinary training to prepare future lawyers for the evolving legal landscape. The Social Democratic Party has announced the appointment of new national officers as part of efforts to strengthen its internal structure and boost preparations for the 2027 general elections. The appointments approved by party's National Working Committee were made public in a statement by the National Public Secretary, Rufus Ayeningba. Key appointments include Ugochukwu Uba as Deputy National Chairman for the South, Sadiq Abubakar as Deputy National Chairman for the North, and Husani Bello as National Financial Secretary. The Nigerian Navy says it has intercepted a wooden boat laden with 90,000 liters of stolen crude oil at the Araromi riverine community in the larger local government area of Ondo State. The operation was executed by personnel of the Forward Operating Base Igbokoda following credible intelligence on illegal bunkering activities in the area. Commanding Officer Aliyu Usman told newsmen that preliminary investigations revealed that the crude oil was illegally sourced from abandoned oil well. Commanding Officer Aliyu Usman told newsmen that preliminary investigations revealed that the crude oil was illegally sourced from abandoned oil wellheads located offshore in Igbokoda and was en route to Lagos State before interception. According to him, on sighting the naval team, the suspects man on the boat fled into the creeks in an accompanying speedboat, evading arrest. Ghana immigration officials have detained more than 2,000 undocumented foreign nationals in Accra as part of an operation aimed at dismantling criminal networks and addressing street begging. According to a statement from Ghana Immigration Services, 2,241 individuals were arrested during early morning raids, including 1,332 children. Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak in a Facebook post described the foreign nationals' activity as a national security risk and harmful to Ghana's image. Mubarak noted that many of those detained had entered the country through unapproved routes, bypassing immigration procedures. The majority of those arrested were from Burkina Faso, Togo, and Nigeria.
Congo's opposition party leader, Lassie Mbauti, has been abducted in Brazzaville by armed and masked men days after surviving an assassination attempt. His party, Les Socialites, says Congolese blamed the government for his abduction. Party spokesperson Mathieu Panouzi said the leader, who is a candidate in Congo's March 2026 presidential election, has been arrested before, and the people who came to his home were masked, armed, and using a vehicle without a number plate. He added that the party and citizens across the Congolese population and diaspora has started mobilizing. Panouzi further revealed that a number of opposition parties joined the Les Socialites Congolese to issue a joint statement condemning the kidnapping and demanding his unconditional release. Congolese government has yet to react to the accusation. Libyan protesters have called for the ouster of Prime Minister Abdulhamid Dbeibah. The demonstrators gathered in Martyrs Square in Tripoli, saying the nation wants to topple the government and demanding elections before marching to the main government building in the city center. They carried pictures of Dbeibah, National Security Advisor Ibrahim Dbeibah, and Interior Minister Ahmad Sabosi, with their faces crossed out in red. Three ministers who want the Prime Minister to quit resigned. The government said one security force member was killed when some protesters tried to storm his office. Secretary of State for Foreign and Commonwealth Affairs of the United Kingdom, David Lammy, has announced that Britain is working with the United States to secure a ceasefire between India and Pakistan and to ensure dialogue takes place.
We will continue to work with Pakistan, we will continue to work with the United States to ensure that we get an enduring ceasefire, to ensure that that dialogue is happening, and to work through with Pakistan and India how we can get to confidence and confidence building measures between the two sides.
Speaking to newsmen in Islamabad, Pakistan's capital, Lamy said they would ensure that there is no further escalation and seek a ceasefire. When asked about India's suspension of the Indus Water Treaty, which could impact Pakistan's water supply, Lamy responded that the United Kingdom would urge all parties to uphold their treaty obligations. His remarks come amid Pakistan's acknowledgement that Britain, the US, and other nations played key roles in helping de-escalate fighting between the nuclear-armed South Asian rivals. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has called for stronger sanctions against Russia after a drone strike killed 9 boat passengers in northeastern Ukraine, hours after the two countries held their first peace talks. Commenting on the attack on the Sumy region, Zelensky said on X that all the victims were civilians and that the Russians could not have failed to recognize the type of vehicle they were targeting. He described the strike as a deliberate killing of civilians. In the United States, 10 inmates have escaped from a jail in New Orleans, southeastern Louisiana, after navigating through a hole beyond the toilet, prompting a manhunt and raising serious concerns about security breaches and possible internal assistance. According to the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, the escape began when the inmates tampered with a cell door. Surveillance footage showed the inmates entering a compromised cell and slipping through a hole in the wall beyond a toilet. They exited through a loading dock, scaled a barbed wire fence using blankets and fled. 3 of the escapees have been recaptured while others remain at large.
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has announced the establishment of a Candidates Counseling Emergency Support Center. In a statement posted on its X account, the Examination Board has said the initiative aims to provide additional support to candidates with urgent concerns. The new center will complement JAMB's existing ticketing platform, which remains the preferred and most efficient means of communication with the board. JAMB, however, emphasized that the ticketing platform is still the most reliable option for candidates seeking assistance.
The Southeast Senate caucus has expressed concern over the glitch experienced during the last Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board examination (JAMB) at some centers in Lagos State and across the entire Southeast region. In a statement issued in Abuja by its chairman, Ian Naye Abaride, the caucus said it would be disheartening if there is another agenda aimed at deliberately harming the future of children from the region. The caucus attributed the issue to the injection of hateful politics and narrow parochial considerations into both policy formulation and implementation. The caucus warned that any future recurrence would be unacceptable and welcomed the timely acceptance of faults expressed by JAMB. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has dismissed speculation suggesting that he may vie for the presidency in the 2027 elections against President Bola Tinubu. Speculations had emerged that Wike could enter the race if the People's Democratic Party zones its presidential tickets to the south, reacting. Wike stated that he has no intention of running against Tinubu. He reaffirmed his loyalty to the president and made it clear that he will remain as a member of the People's Democratic Party while continuing to support the president. The Social Democratic Party has debunked the appointments of Ugochukwu Uba and Sadiq Gombe as members of its National Working Committee, stating that none of them he is a registered member of the party. The party refuted the alleged appointment of Yuba in a statement signed by the SDP's national vice chairman for the Southeast, Arinze Ekelem. Acting state chairman of the Gombe chapter, Adamu Mbambu Modibo, also refuted the report. According to the circulating claims, Yuba was appointed national deputy chairman for the South, while Gombe was named deputy national chairman for the North.
Thanks for watching us today and for joining us on our journey of enlightenment. Morganable, your vehicle of enlightenment.